Have you ever heard about Psychoneuroimmunology, short P&I, before? What a word, right? P&I is a relatively new discipline within the field of neuroscience that researches the relationship between emotional states, the central and peripheral nervous systems, and the endocrine and immune systems. Multiple studies have shown that increased psychological stress and depression are associated with an alteration of immune functioning and worsened health outcomes for many conditions. Haven't we always known about this fact? Of course, but we always need scientific proof for everything. Too bad. We can't just believe in the unseen world and that everything is energy, as Albert Einstein stated wisely. Before we dive deeper into scientific research on P&I, let me quickly introduce myself. Hi, it's Monica, your intuitive trauma transformation coach, who helps you face and successfully navigate through the storms of life, guiding you through a most powerful self-healing process and teaching you all the mindfulness tools you need to embark on your journey to your core self and create the life you've always envisioned. Many ancient cultures felt a connection between mind, body, and spirit. The healing practice of shamanism is thought to have had its origin in Siberia, dating as far back as 20,000 years ago. Shaman healers serve as mediaries between the spiritual and the physical world. As the practice of medicine evolved, the most insightful physicians clung to the belief that illness did not originate exclusively from that which is physical. Hippocrates, for example, in 400 BCE stated, "I would rather know what sort of person has a disease than what sort of disease a person has." Patients nowadays delegate total authority to their doctors and blindly accept whatever those people in their white coats decide to do. Beanfield and Korngold, in their book Between Heaven and Earth, wrote, "As the breadth and depth of scientific information about the body grew, doctors and patients lost faith in the capacity of the human organism to heal itself. People mistakenly feel that the power to cure comes exclusively from outside themselves, administered by an alien intelligence. Isn't that devastatingly sad? It took 300 years for the seminal work of Ada and Cohen to create a line of research known as psychoneuroimmunology, which scientifically re-established a link between emotions and disease. Meanwhile, quite a few studies have shown that increased psychological stress and depression are associated with a decrease in immune functioning and worsened health outcomes for many conditions, including coronary artery disease, cancer, autoimmune disease, infections, wound healing, and even Alzheimer's disease. Research and studies showed that in 95,647 widowed persons, the significant psychological stressor of the loss of a spouse increased all-cause mortality. The British Common Cold study showed that subjects with more stress had a higher incidence of colds. Subsequently, in 1998, the Pittsburgh Common Cold study showed that chronic interpersonal stressors, such as conflicts with friends, family or spouses, and work problems related to unemployment or underemployment place individuals at greater risk for upper respiratory infection. Furthermore, there was a linear increase in the risk for illness with increasing duration of the stressor, and patients with greater perceived stress had even worse cold symptoms. Poorer sleep efficiency and shorter sleep duration in the weeks preceding exposure to rhinovirus were associated with lower resistance to illness. A study in 2003 showed that chronic depression leads to neuronal cell loss in the hippocampus and may confer an increased risk for later developing Alzheimer's disease. And this is a research I find very interesting as well. For couples who engage in hostile interactions, the median time to wound healing was 2 days longer than for those couples who have non-hostile interactions. And as a trauma transformation coach, I fully agree with the following statement. The conditions which are most likely to induce chronic debilitating stress are the emotional adjustments to life transitions, like a new parenthood, job loss, the empty nest syndrome, retirement, reduction in income, chronic illness, loss of mobility or function, isolation from or loss of a loved one, divorce, chronic strain such as caregiver stress, problems with children, relocation, and many, many others. How nice would it be to have physicians minister to the spirit with a cheerful disposition through addressing and listening to fears and concerns with the phrasing of optimistic perspectives and by the mere touch of a caring hand upon a patient's shoulder. It would be so important for doctors to ask questions that address difficulty sleeping, problems at work, and tension at home, and to know about irritability, worries, and fears in order to understand a patient's inner struggle. Rush doctors who only allow 5 to 10 minutes per patient definitely compromise the individual's opportunity for healing. So, what can we do daily to prevent illness? Breathing is the key word here. Breathing is crucial for keeping us alive, right? It is also vital for illness prevention, health maintenance, and recovery from disease or injury. By the way, did you know that newborns take 30 to 60 breaths per minute? Infants, 30 to 60 breaths per minute. Toddlers, 24 to 40 breaths per minute. Preschoolers, 22 to 34 breaths per minute. School-age children, 18 to 30 breaths per minute. Adolescents, 12 to 16 breaths per minute. And adults, 12 to 18 breaths per minute. These are the kind of normal ranges. Unfortunately, most modern adults are much faster and extremely shallow breathers due to stress and unhealthy lifestyle. Also, Respiratory rates in cancer and other severely ill patients are usually very high. When we breathe faster than we should, we lose too much CO2 from the blood, thus reducing body oxygenation due to vasoconstriction and the suppressed Bohr effect caused by hypocapnia, CO2 deficiency. The faster we breathe, the lower our oxygen levels and the more our cells suffer from hypoxia, reduced cell oxygenation. Dr. Buteyko found that virtually all sick people, like asthma, bronchitis, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, etc., have accelerated respiratory patterns. Slower, easier breathing improves cell oxygen content. We call this abdominal breathing or diaphragmatic breathing because the diaphragm pushes down and the belly swells out, just as we see when babies breathe. The best regular breathing rate noted by contemporary medicine is 8 breaths per minute, and that is the golden standard to shoot for. However, are even 8 breaths ideal, or is something even slower up for the offering that takes us to heavenly health? The fact is, once you go below 10 breaths a minute, you start to engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps the body relax when it has been injured. One of the key focuses of Qigong practice is mastering the art of breathing. As you learn to mindfully control the speed and depth of each breath you take, your body responds in 3 key ways. Your heart beats slower and more effectively. The levels of nitric oxide increases, which results in relaxation of blood vessel, muscles, and lower blood pressure. Deep breathing is a signal to your body that you are safe now and the danger is over. The fight or flight hormone production stops and your body returns to a neutral, peaceful state. Your mind becomes clear and you regain perspective. This peace spills over into every part of your life. Before we start with our Qigong breathing exercises, please quickly click on subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell as well. Our first exercise is called throwing the ball. So we are breathing in when we grab it, and then we are bringing it up and we are throwing it and breathing out. Breathing in and out. And in, and then we push out the breath like and you can add a sound like the heart sound, which is a ha. 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 Wonderful. The next breathing exercise is a letting go exercise. So first you focus the energy between your forefinger, your middle finger, your thumb, and then you let it go. You focus and breathing in, letting go, breathing out. And the twisting of the upper body massages all the inner organs. A very powerful breathing exercise. And as it is about release, think about what you would like to let go, what you would like to release. And our third exercise is about bringing the energy to the heart, stepping forward, pushing out, pivoting the hands, bringing them up and down again. So it's stepping out and pushing forward, pivoting, bringing them up, stepping back, breathing out. Breathing in, stepping forward, pushing forward. Breathing out, pushing out, pivoting. Bringing your hands up, breathing in and breathing out, bringing them to your sides. Perfect. How do you feel? Have you been able to slow down your breath and relax into the beautiful slow movements? Please let me know in the comments box below. And like always, peace begins with me. Namaste, namaste. And remember, you deserve to break free and live your magic.